Is Sarasota the only place that does a pineapple drop specifically, or is there other? Hawaii, okay.
There's actually, I think, 3 different pineapple drops throughout the country. I know Hawaii does one. We happen to be the biggest, though. I mean, and
I have the biggest pineapple.
Somebody should have spent
we have one that
6,000.
actually looks like a pineapple, more so than what the one that they do in Hawaii.
All right, guys, we're back with episode 79 of the Sarasota SpeaX podcast. And as always, my name is Brad Hannon.
Trey Martell.
Felipe Colon.
And we've got some awesome guests with us today. We've got Chris Embro from Misguided Spirits, and we've got Ron Soto from
the Downtown Merchants Association.
But what's the optics?
Well, I own Soto Opticians on Main Street also.
Soto Opticians. So I'm guessing that's how you got plugged into...
Yeah, I got suckered into being the president of the Merchants Association about 18 years ago, and this kind of developed after that.
Okay, and so we want to talk about the pineapple drop, right? I remember I was talking to somebody last week, don't know who it was, and I said we're gonna have a couple people on that are kind of responsible for the pineapple drop, and they weren't from Sarasota. The first question was, why is it a pineapple?
I hear that question a lot, and there's actually 2 different answers that I like to give. First of all, pineapple is the international sign of hospitality all through the world. If you go to Charleston's and places where they're very proper, outside of their mansions, you will see on the gates pineapples up there welcoming you into their house. If you look around, well, the actual real reason we call it the pineapple drop is that little area of downtown where we drop the pineapple is called Pineapple Square. So it's right at Lemon and Main Street. And if you look at like where Blue Mercury is, if you look around their canopies and stuff, you'll see pineapples that are actually holding up those canopies. If you look across the street to Eileen Fisher, outside the lighting and stuff that they have is all pineapples. And if you look at State Street and Lemon in the floor there where the bricks are, there's a huge pineapple there. Originally, a gentleman was going to put up a condo and retail, and he was going to be called Pineapple Square. Butch Isaac was doing that. He actually ended up, him and his brother were both contractors. The brother passed away. He decided he didn't want to keep that contract going. So he sold it off to what we know as today as the Mark. But even with the Mark, if you look on the side of it where Ronnie Sugar has his new champagne bar coming up there.
Ronnie.
A little shout out for Ronnie there. If you look at it right there, there's this huge pineapple painted on the side of the Mark. So the actual reason we do a pineapple there is because of Pineapple Square. I'll give you a couple of quick things on here because this has been going on since 1999. The very first pineapple that we did, we went to the Ringling School of Art, and we asked the Ringling School of Art to go ahead and make a pineapple. So they took one of those big blue water containers, the 50-gallon ones that people put their rainwater and stuff into. Yeah. Took one of those, they decorated the whole thing on the outside with the pineapple, with the leaves and stuff coming up. We got the winch to come up there and hoist the thing up there with the crane. And as we pulled it up, they didn't do the bottom of it. So when you looked up, all you saw was a big blue disc. After that, Butch Isaac came over and said, you know what? Since it's going to be Pineapple Square and I'm doing all this other stuff here, I will pay to have a pineapple made. And he did, to the tune of about $5,000 to have that pineapple
with
made.
The bottom.
The whole bottom. Yeah, it's actually, the thing when people see it, it's hard to tell, but the thing is about 7 feet tall. And it's
been the same one since 2000, basically?
So this has been about 24 years we've been hoisting this pineapple up in the air.
Where do they keep it? I mean, where do you keep a 7-foot pineapple?
On the palm tree.
You know what's funny is I don't want to give away your secret, but at a place that I used to bartend at, for the last few years where I would park my car, my bike, for like the weeks leading up to the pineapple drop, it was always parked in the same spot. So I would park, and the pineapple.
So you found the pineapple.
I know where they hide it. I do.
Wow. You discovered it.
Yes.
It's actually at a warehouse on 12th Street right now.
And that's where I work, at a warehouse on 12th Street.
That's where my house is.
Now, in just probably the next couple of days, it'll be at my house. because I'd go through all the lights to make sure that the bulbs are all working and stuff like that. So when we hoist it up,
Where the
it's
hell
kinda
do you
nice.
keep a 7-foot pineapple at your house?
I put it on a trailer, and then the
great.
day or two before, we stick it over there at one of the parking garages.
Now let me ask you something. I don't know if you could do this anymore, but let's say I wanted to buy the pineapple, a new one.
Yeah.
Because
Trying to
$5,000
steal a
bucks,
pineapple?
$5,000 in 24 years. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
What if I maybe spent $20,000 on a new pineapple? Would you consider upgrading?
Yes, I would.
Damn it, we got to edit that part out because somebody's going to do that. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
somebody's going to see
You're
this.
gonna get an offer.
And that's 24 years. I mean, where can you like?
Yeah,
Actually-
and it looks like it's in great shape.
That's crazy.
Don't-
Yeah.
Well, I've had a lot of work done to it.
Right.
But don't
Change
edit
a lot
that
of
out,
bulbs.
Yeah.
because a while back, one of our there was a company that did contact me about them putting in a pineapple, and they were in the pineapple business. So we're going to leave their names out of it, okay? So I'm not going to give them a plug because at the last
the
minute,
actual pineapple business, like they sold fruit.
Tropicana.
I said we're going to leave the name out, but no, it wasn't Tropicana. And I'm not going to mention it. All right, but at the last minute,
Good guess.
at the last minute, they pulled the rug out from underneath and said, "No, we're not going to do it." But they've gone in and they said we would get a new pineapple. What they wanted to do is they wanted us to guarantee them that we would use this for so many years with their name on it.
Yeah, about
Only-
24 years, maybe 25 years.
They should have done it. They could have had that for a long time.
All right, I got one more question, and I want to get into how Misguided Spirit. I had these teed up. I've been thinking about this for a while. How Misguided Spirits kind of comes into play here too, as well. But from somebody that's been to maybe 8, 10 pineapple drops, the pineapple never drops, right?
Does it move at all? Oh, it lowers, yeah.
Slowly lowers.
Slowly.
Yeah.
Have we ever thought about maybe like not dropping it, but maybe like a faster winch down or like a free spool, and then maybe like it lands into like a giant, blow up pad or something?
Well, let's see. For a couple of years,
idea.
I want to
Yeah.
see this thing drop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I hear you.
I'm sorry, I got to interrupt. I mean,
Oh,
Okay, here we go.
the pineapple drop. We got that idea obviously from the ball drop in New York City.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah, of
Have any of you
course.
guys been to that?
No,
All right.
and I would never.
it does not come down
There's
fast.
only one person who's been to that here, and that's me. And I will tell you, it doesn't come down
I've
fast.
seen it on TV. I know
Wow.
it doesn't come down
It's
fast.
kinda different when you
I
be
would
there.
say that if I was talking to somebody that was involved with that, I would say the same thing to them.
What if we could get it to drop fast and
Hey,
score a
raise your hand if
pineapple
you'd like to
juice?
see it drop fast.
I would like it. But
Free
what
fall.
about, is there a way, maybe just an actual giant pineapple and you just drop it and let it splat?
Okay,
You know?
Yeah,
so
a real pineapple with steroids, like that's
Yeah, it's gonna be
Frank Crane.
7 foot.
It grows the entire year, and at the end of the year, you drop it.
Frank Crane is the guy that comes out and he owns the crane and brings it out. And actually, his daughter is the one.
Is it Frank Berlin, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know
Berlin
him?
Cranes, yeah.
Great guy. Been doing it for us forever. Matter of fact, I call him up and never mind. So
Hey, how can we get this thing to drop faster, Frank?
no, his daughter comes over there and we actually do several runs of the thing, so we count 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. So when it comes down to the end, so it's about 10 seconds to come down.
Right.
The for several years we made a box for it, and the last one, if you go to YouTube and just go Pineapple Drop 2017, you can actually see from a drone where it's coming down and it goes into the box, and then 2017 shows up. The problem is people were complaining that afterward they couldn't take pictures with it because it disappeared.
Oh, it's
in
just
the
can't-
box.
You just can't
Okay.
win.
So I know, no matter what
Can't
you
win.
do. So the last after that, around 2019, I quit making the box and said, you know what, we'll let it down so people can take pictures next to it.
All right, so
Is Sarasota the only place that does a pineapple drop specifically, or is there other? Hawaii, okay.
There's actually, I think, 3 different pineapple drops throughout the country. I know Hawaii does one. We happen to be the biggest, though. I mean, and
Do
I
we have
had
the biggest pineapple?
somebody
we
should
have
have spent
we have one that
6,000.
actually looks like
I
a
know, right?
pineapple, more so than what the one that they do in Hawaii. If you Google it, it's kind of glittery or whatever. It's kind of gaudy, if you ask me.
Like a disco pineapple.
It's a little tacky.
Little tack.
Okay.
Ours is more classy.
You would think the Hawaiians would have
But-
gotten it right.
I didn't realize this
Who knew?
until recently that our pineapple drop is the biggest New Year's celebration in Florida. And I went and asked a couple of the people, because we have some type of securities that they don't want me to get into it. But they're the ones that came over to me, and I said, wait a minute, what about Disney? All right, they got to have a bigger thing. They said, we're talking about open to the public. All right,
True.
so
You gotta
we're
buy
not
tickets
talking
to that.
about
Mickey Mouse drop.
Right.
Yeah.
Whatever
so
they
stuff
drop.
like this is what's open to the public where anybody can come to it. It's free.
I got
and come
you.
on down. So we are the biggest. And I used to teasingly say that we're the largest south of Manhattan. It turns out that that's probably true.
Wow. Do you know how many people on average come to the Pineapple Drop each year?
I invite about 35,000 of my closest friends, and then about an extra 5 or 10,000 show up.
Oh, then the chief came on, Rex Trochet, and he said that he gave us a number. I don't remember what it was.
Was it for New Year's though? Or was
Yeah,
it-
yeah.
It was either 50 or 60,000, I thought.
And
but I
we
could be
were
wrong.
all amazed at the low rate
crime.
of arrest.
Yeah, there was almost no arrests, but they
Last
said,
year, I don't think there was any arrests.
Yeah,
Right.
Chief said
We
it was.
actually had your co-founder on, Rich Swire, as well.
Yeah.
Well, we got into that a little bit, the Rich Swire thing. We talked about that a little bit before. He had the backstory there. And I want to get to the backstory. I want to get to what goes into it. But the audience may be wondering what the heck Misguided Spirits is doing here. The presence, we got a bottle of rum.
We're
And
back.
I want to make sure that they don't think we're just a bunch of alcoholics. So
Well,
where does Misguided Spirits
depends on the day.
come into play with the Pineapple Drop?
They're a major sponsor.
Let's go.
Yeah. So
I didn't know.
yeah, well, because this all came about, I think we started talking, Ron and I, after the last time we did the podcast, which is during the summertime. And, Misguided, because we're kind of growing the brand down here and whatnot, a big part, aside from, selling and distilling really good liquor, is we try to be a part of the community and try to be a part of sponsored events and,
And podcasts.
Podcast creates brand visibility. So, anyways, I'm looking, just thinking about the year and whatnot. And I'm like, yeah, I live downtown. The Pineapple Drop has been a thing my entire life. I've gone many years. And I was like, I wonder who does that. And so I went online, and actually it was for Rocktoberfest, because Ron does Rocktoberfest, Seafood Fest, and the Pineapple Drop.
wow.
So we actually were talking about...
You didn't say that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He does it all. So
Oh, man.
I actually contacted him because of Rocktoberfest, which ended up getting canceled because of the hurricanes. But that's how we got to talking. And he was like, well, why don't we just roll this into New Year's? Because I also happen to do the Pineapple Drop. And I was like, that's great. So then he introduces me to the other bars and restaurants that are involved in it.
Yeah, we should give them a shout out real quick. We were going to have them
yeah.
on the podcast.
Yep.
Some things came
So,
up.
A big shout out to the Gator Club. All right, we've got El Melvin's and Classico downtown. They all help out
Staples.
with the bar part. Yes.
Yeah.
Big time staples. So how does that work? So they just, put their carts out there, their bartenders and making drinks. How does that all come together?
They basically handle the whole thing as far as putting bartenders out, running the booths. Because believe it or not, you have to run constantly, supplying it with the beer and stuff. When
I
you've
bet.
got that many people in a short period of time, it's quite an ordeal.
Yeah.
So they run all the money and the booze and the staff, and you just take a little piece for your niece.
I used to do all that where I was going out, and then it just got to be too much. And then what do I do with the leftovers? Because you don't want to run out of Coke, Sprite, ginger ale, that kind of stuff. So you overbuy, and then what do you do with the leftovers? Well, you got to wait for the next festival, which is 2 months down the road. This way, they can just take it and use it at their bar the very next day. So it works out good for them. It works out good for us.
Cool.
You mean you don't want to keep it with the pineapple on the warehouse on 12th Street?
Well, the problem is I would keep it at my house in the garage, and it seems to disappear.
So what's the associate? It's the merchant. It's the downtown merchants.
It's actually the name of the group is the Downtown SRQ Enrichment Association.
Okay, and they coordinate with the city.
Yeah, the sponsors are basically us and the city of Sarasota.
Okay.
So the city of Sarasota, they actually do a fantastic job of working with us as far as the police, coordinating the police, Public Works with coordinating the blocking of the streets, so putting out the what we call the
Barricades.
Jersey walls.
Yeah.
The barricades and stuff. The amount of security that we have for this thing is just incredible.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm surprised of all of it. You know what? And after we turn the mic
The city
off,
likes to bring their toys out, their drones and all their stuff.
the face recognition and everything else
Mm-hmm.
is there. I mean, some of the technical stuff. The command center they have is way bigger than this room with people just sitting watching and everything else. Drones,
Yeah.
Wow.
Not that you should be nervous out there or anything. It's fine.
Well, the whole
They're looking
idea
out
is
for you.
everything's
Felipe,
gonna
they
be
call that
fine.
Big Brother.
The whole idea is
Big
you
brother,
shouldn't
yeah.
be nervous because we've got the entire police force. Unless you're giving birth,
Right.
in the hospital.
You're working.
You're working that night.
Yeah.
So the entire police force is working that night. So to make sure everybody's safe and stuff.
And they did a great job of that last year with, there being virtually no arrests.
But the security, I can understand why they do it that way.
You have to anyway.
One of the things that's special about that event is, like you said, it is open to the public, which many New Year's events are not. Right? They usually have a charge, and it's the gate kept. Right? But it's also like an all ages kind of thing. I mean,
family friendly.
Yeah, you go down there, you'll see kids running around.
I'm bringing my 5 and 3-year-olds.
Probably
for sure.
unsupervised some of the time. You'll see,
Right.
people that are seniors. They're having a good time, and everybody in between. So it's a really
that's-
unique thing. I've never seen kind of an event like that.
That's the reason we have Dreamland come in and bring a full carnival in. all right?
Whoa! We're not getting the entertainment yet.
Okay.
We gotta save that. We gotta save.
It goes on
we're
with the
luring 'em
family
in.
thing. It goes in with the family part of it. You know what? It's a family event. It's not just a drunken party for everybody to get out and drunk and stuff like that. It's a whole family affair.
I love that. I just noticed something, Chris. You have a pineapple right here.
I do. Well, and here's the funny thing.
We can drop him
Yeah, you
It's on
can.
his head.
Yeah,
upside down.
yeah, go for it. Yeah.
What's the? You got that for the pineapple drop?
No, yeah, I got it. In solidarity with Ron. He's getting his matching one tomorrow, right? Isn't that right, Ron?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, we've
love
become
it.
fast friends.
I love it.
No, I've had that tattoo for years, and what's funny is because bartending forever, I got it because I have a palm tree behind the other one. I grew up here in Florida. I don't know. I have a lot of random shit on me, and so. I got the pineapple not thinking about it, and then I realized that older,
Symbol of Sarasota.
middle-aged couples started
Yeah, it's a swinger thing,
They started
whatever.
to talk to me a lot while I was bartending. And they're like, "So the pineapple," and I was like, "Yeah, I don't know, I just got it." And they're like,
So the matter of the pineapple.
"So
sir.
what's the pineapple all about?" And then I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "These people."
Same
think-
as the palm tree. It means
yeah,
nothing.
it means nothing, right?
It means I like tattoos.
Yeah, like what are you doing later? I'm like, oh no, people are thinking I'm a swinger. So that dawned on me like a year after having the tattoo. But now I'm just gonna say, yeah, it's in solidarity with the pineapple drop and sponsoring it.
Well, it's
Next
the
week,
International
yeah, next
Night of
week.
Hospitality.
Felipe's gonna have a pineapple tattoo next week.
Yeah. So no, there's no reason behind it, but people have created some.
So is
interesting
Misguided
reasons.
providing any, special cocktails or what is Misguided doing for New Year's?
So we are the main liquor sponsor, and basically kind of worked out like a case deal with them for the El Melvin Classico Gator Club that we would provide like X amount of booze if they bought into us, and then in return also they'll start serving us behind their bars.
Yep.
Because those are a few like. Since I last saw you guys, Misguided has blown up, and we're
Absolutely.
in just about every bar. But there are a few holdouts or people that just aren't aware. And it just so happens the three of them were working with Ron for the pineapple drop and New Year's, which worked out great. So I worked a deal with them, and then they got to learn about us, and then they'll start carrying us behind their bars because of this whole event.
So what you're saying is you came on Sarasota SpeaX podcast.
Yeah.
And you had a few
Are you about to
bars,
take credit for
and
everything
then
right
you
now?
came back on Sarasota SpeaX podcast, and between the timing of those two episodes,
Yeah.
everybody now carries Misguided.
Not everybody, but it's
This is a great idea, Trey and
Yeah.
Felipe. This
Yeah.
is a great idea.
Yeah.
I love it.
yeah. We'll give Trey all the credit for it.
Okay, well, you missed the hint that I heard you had special cocktails. There was some sort of like.
Oh yeah. Merry Christmas. Oh yeah. So let's get to. So we can continue to talk
Then we
about.
can talk about the entertainment
We can-
over a
let-
drink.
Let's just do this. So I made a specialty winter cocktail for you guys. I know that Felipe, you're not in. I'm sure you want
What?
one.
Felipe's
I'm
in.
in.
You're in.
Just Trey's not.
I've been sick all week. My
I'm
guy.
the- I'm the lame duck.
Need a little rum.
The three of us.
No,
I
So
gotta
while-
go climb a ladder
So-
after this.
So while we're doing that, I also,
Fake it, Trey.
in true Christmas spirit, holiday spirit, I brought you guys a gift. So Trey, if you want to go ahead and do the honors and unwrap you guys'
Oh,
gift, it's
wow.
for the podcast boys. You guys have been really good to us, and
I called
so,
it tequila.
so I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a gift.
It's my first gift of the season, I believe.
Yeah.
I thought we were waiting until Christmas to open that thing.
Yeah, Christmas came early. So there you go, and then if you turn it around, there's some good stuff. in
Bingo.
there.
Oh,
There you go. So that is our liquor display package.
Very cool. Speaking of which, where did our old liquor display package go? Does anyone know? It was over there with the whole box. They were all empty, but anyhow,
we'll take the vodka.
I like the full one.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, you guys can split it up amongst yourselves, whatever you.
We'll take
there's a flavor for
Alan Hummel's Crooked Vodka.
there's a flavor for everybody. I know that.
Those
like
are
the
the
tequila.
those are the lawyers, right?
Yeah, those are the lawyers I told you guys about last time. See, look at like a steel trap, man.
Yes, sir.
The unethical lawyers that represent our vodka. Pretty cool. And then also,
Stick Tom in there right there.
and then these are our tarot card coasters. I give this to all of our accounts. Like we do.
Yeah, we love those.
Yeah, they're
Everyone's always.
everywhere.
I see people posting pictures of them all the time too.
Yeah, people. Yeah, they have classic cocktails.
I
in
was
the back.
I
These are
was
Misguided.
somewhere and there was
These
a
are for you
guy.
guys.
There was a guy that said, they're missing the opportunity. No, he was on the podcast. He said that he's missing the opportunity to advertise.
Right.
I said, no, this is exactly what I love about these coasters. They're not cheap advertisements. They're clever and they're
Right,
neat
right,
and they're
right.
branding. And
It
also,
says Misguided Spirits right there.
yeah, that's all you
It's
need.
advertising.
It's
It's not like you're going to
advertising.
call them, like you're not calling Tito's Vodka or whoever makes it saying, hey, we need some Tito's, right? You go to the bar, you go to the liquor store. so
Right.
it's different.
Somebody else on
What's that? I didn't hear
Never.
anything.
No, that's not a plug. I only drink Misguided.
I did. That's why we love bread. And then where did my I had garnishes somewhere. Anyways, let's see.
Aren't they in that cup right there?
It was in a
Where?
cup.
Right in front of you.
That's water.
Right in front of you.
Water. What
Water.
are you talking about? Well, I had Luxardo cherries.
Yeah.
I was gonna really dial it up for you guys.
I saw you put them all together.
What are my Luxardo cherries? I don't know. Well, it's all right. If
We got to
find
find the cherries,
We gotta
guys.
find it. Well, I mean, it's just a splash of color, and there is a little bit of Luxardo cherry juice in that. In addition to your guys' display box, I brought a couple of shirts for you guys. We've got like our classic logo shirt.
What size
go.
you got?
This is I got a
2X.
Double XL.
That's
2XL,
Felipe.
but
That's
I've got an
Felipe's
XL and
size.
a large. But
I'd
we've
hate to
got-
say that's
In
probably
what world is that my size?
we got-
I'll do an XL. You're large, right?
Okay.
I'm a large.
I think the XL's
Felipe's
in the car.
large,
And then
right?
Yeah, actually.
We've got the tarot card shirt. So this is stuff I'll probably be handing out a few of these on
New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve.
Love
Cool.
I'm
Yeah.
a medium.
What's that? Your medium?
it. All the branding is so dope. I always
Yeah,
love
it's great, man.
All right, I can't wait for the garnish. I got to just.
So yeah, this is our Christmas cocktail made for you guys. Cheers, Ron. Cheers. Celebrate. So, cheers.
I've often wondered when I'm listening to the radio
Cheers,
stuff and they're
Felipe.
supposed to be doing drinking, if they were actually doing that. Now I know.
I don't think we're
We got
regulated
the
by the
video,
FCC
too,
or
so-
whatever.
No, I
so-
don't think they really care much on the radio. TV is where they care.
So yeah, we got a little bit of Misguided Blanco rum, some
like it.
coconut, some Luxardo cherry in there.
You're missing out,
a little bit of lime. It's like it's a winter tiki kind of rum cocktail.
I
So
think the cherries are in your bag down there.
are they?
I think so.
I swear.
I saw you putting them in a cup.
I did too.
You,
Oh, there they are. Okay.
hey, Ron was paying attention.
There we go.
Ron was paying
Good
attention.
ones.
Those are good ones. Huh?
These are the really yeah,
Luxardo.
These are the Italian ones.
Luxardo.
There you go. And then I'll put the rest of them over there. So
All
yeah,
right.
Merry Christmas, you guys. We
Thank you.
appreciate
Thank
guys.
you.
Appreciate all
Yeah,
of
you
this.
guys have been great to us, and doing that last episode was a big deal for us, and definitely did get some people's attention.
Yep.
And so yeah, I wanted to bring you guys some stuff, and then so coming up for the pineapple drop, we sponsored it. We're working with those restaurants; they're going to bring us in, and it's just kind of like giving us huge brand visibility, and also just kind of like showing that we're walking the walk, talking the talk, like we're supporting the community, we're
Drinking the drink.
We're definitely drinking the drink.
Just when he first got together with me and stuff, I wasn't familiar with Misguided.
Yeah.
He brought me over a little sample. He didn't do that, but he brought me over some samples of the thing. And I tasted the rum. I was going like, damn, that's pretty good.
good stuff.
I did the tequila first, and I was like, "That's great." Like I'm like, I'll drink that in a margarita. I'll drink it on the. I drank the first one, the rocks, just to get
I
it
drink
dry.
Sing
I
it straight out of the
drank
bottle.
mine
I mean,
Well, and this is
Because it was that
and,
good.
All seriousness, I would want to definitely want to thank you and Ron for both coming on, because we're not wrapping this up, but I'm just saying thank you for coming on, because this is kind of for us a preview into what 2025 looks like. We're talking New Year's Eve. We're talking looking in the future. 2025 for Sarasota SpeaX, I believe we can all agree that we're really trying to focus more on community events. What is the big event of the quarter, let's say? Or obviously we can't focus on every event, but the Pineapple Drop is a major one. So I ran into Chris and was kind of sharing that. And he goes, dude, we're sponsoring the Pineapple Drop. I said, that's great. Let's put something together. So that's how this kind of all came about. And we would love to, Rocktoberfest, these types of events. We'd love to work with you more in the future. You've been doing it a long freaking time, so that's pretty incredible. Now let's talk a little bit more about what goes into it, and then to keep the audience engaged and hanging on to the very end, what they can expect as far as entertainment.
Okay. So what goes into it? Well, First, you have to coordinate getting the bands and stuff that you've got going into it, getting the stages. We have 3 different stages. We'll get too much into the entertainment part, but 3 different stages. The little things that people forget about, like the Johnny Quicks, better known as, the porta potties.
The Johnny Quicks.
When I say Johnny Quicks, see, I'm showing my age because
I missed that one. I didn't even.
Well, back when I was a kid, they were made of wood, all right? And the name of them back then was Johnny Quick because you got in and out quick because of the smell. So
The wood can catch fire, though.
And yes, when I used to go to Sebring and they had the Sebring races, on the last day of Sebring, they always lit the Johnny Quicks on fire.
Right, there's no saving that thing. Just light it on fire.
The smell of that, man. Yeah, just basically a
Flaming porta-johns.
Yeah, a flaming outhouse.
So-
my God, that was good.
So basically, now you've got all your food vendors that you have to coordinate with. You've got the Dreamland, which brings in the carnival.
Yep. They
Let's
sell
see.
$15 spinny light up things that cost 25 cents on Temu. Can I get that job? What do I need to do to get a cart certified to sell a bunch of Temu products on the streets?
Shane does that. Sorry.
Gotta meet Shane.
He's making a killing.
Yeah, he's
The
gotta
margins
get with
are
Shane.
phenomenal.
Shane's an old Sarasota boy that
Okay.
is in that business, and so he comes in and handles
deal.
the whole thing.
Wonder if that had to go through city procurement.
I'm
you know?
sure. Isn't it? It's a city of
I don't know. I don't
cities
know how they structure the
sponsoring that.
event.
Well, the city sponsors the event by doing all of the public works. So again, putting up all the barricades, which are those big barricades, all the police work. The police, if they ever wanted to kill New Year's Eve, it's very simple. We can't do the police in kind anymore. When you have 109 or 120 policemen there at what they get an hour, it's just
Overtime.
Overtime on a holiday, right?
overtime. So
Yeah.
you're looking
Not that I'm
$70,
counting the police
$80
money.
an hour or whatever it is for you cannot afford it. So it would just kill the event in a heartbeat. So the city is a major part of this. And thank God, you know what? They're all really good. They're
Yeah.
really good. The police department, Rex over there is just,
He's the best.
oh man, you know what? I've
He's
worked
been on
with
the
him now
podcast,
for
I think,
probably
3.
5 years or so with this thing now. And
Wow.
yeah, he really is. He's super good.
He's come on, what, 2 or 3 times?
Twice.
2 times?
Twice.
Yeah. Hey, we are having a blast here getting to know Ron and Chris and all about the New Year's Eve celebration downtown. If you want to get to know a little bit more about Ron, stay tuned for Rapid Fire Questions, fueled by Food+Beer.
Hi, I'm Ron Soto, owner of Soto Opticians in downtown Sarasota, and this is Rapid Fire.
10 random questions, 10 specific answers, nothing off limits. This is Rapid Fire, fueled by Food+Beer. Do you have a favorite musical artist?
Tower of Power.
What's your favorite movie?
Tombstone.
I'm your huckleberry. That's just my game.
Pancakes or waffles?
Waffles.
Whether it's Creed or Debbie Gibson, what's your favorite karaoke song?
You never close your eyes anymore. Go ahead.
When I kiss your lips.
Which one do you prefer more, sweater weather or Speedo season?
Summer.
Put your car on cruise and lay back, cause it's summertime.
What food did you hate as a kid, but you love now?
Mushrooms.
I love mushrooms, you love mushrooms.
Are we alone in the universe? Do aliens exist?
Oh, they definitely exist. I'm married to one.
Oh, wait, no, wait, you're kidding. He didn't just say what I think he did he?
Better Batman, Michael Keaton, Christian Bale, or that one guy Ben Affleck?
Keaton.
I'm gonna leave you with these 2 words. And those 2 words are... What are you? I'm Batman.
Pick your poison, skydive or swim with the sharks.
I've dove with the sharks, so I'd like to skydive.
I also like to live dangerously.
After, of course, eating food and beer, where's the first place you would take visitors in Sarasota besides the beach?
Come to downtown and see Soto Opticians on Main Street. Get your sunglasses so you can go to the beach.
Isn't
The word?
isn't
Cops. You're
the
on
Merchants
cops.
Association, isn't that like a chartered division of the city, technically?
No.
Well,
no.
break us down what that is
There
and
you
how
go.
they get the authority.
Perfect.
Okay, so the downtown, our Merchants Association is basically, we all belong to an organization, and the whole idea of the organization was so that we'd all have a say-so. So when the city comes over and says, oh, we're going to do this, or we're going to change the sidewalks, and we're going to, whatever, we could actually have.
Better not change those sidewalks.
Well, they're going to.
Don't you touch those sidewalks.
We'd actually
liked
have a say-so in it, and we could actually come over and say, hey, you know what, this is what we want, or this is so we.
A stronger
we have
voice collectively, yes.
So, I mean, it's essentially a trade organization, geographically based.
But now, after we got into that a little bit, we started doing these two guys, Ernie Ritz and Paul Thorpe. They're the ones that actually started the pineapple drop. And then
Discrepancies.
they were getting up there in age a little bit, kind of like me. And they kind of sat there and said, Ron, you're head of the thing. We're going to have you take it over. So that's how I kind of inherited it. And that was about 18 years ago now, it seems.
Now, let me ask you, did the New Year's celebration for you come before Rocktoberfest and Seafood Festival?
Rocktoberfest came first, then the Pineapple Drop, and the Seafood Festival is January the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, right downtown here
Holy
at J.
smokes,
Hamill
I
Park,
didn't even know that.
right across
Which we'll
from
be sponsoring
Marina
as
Jack.
So, shit, you got a packed couple weeks, huh?
And he told me he doesn't even sleep on New Year's Eve. Like, tell the hours on New Year's Eve.
I get up, well, it's a couple of times because the carnival gets set up the day before. So I have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning so we can get the carnival, the barricades up and the carnival going. And then I go to bed early that night because on New Year's Eve I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to put the barricades out. Usually it's just me and the police there, so we get rid of all the people that were drunk and forgot to take their car home, but they took an Uber. But they, you know what?
Then you got to pay the $170.
They get a $170 towing bill, but at least they didn't get a DUI.
No, I've been banged with that $170 towing fee before.
So how many times?
Yeah, and you know what? The night before, I go to all the bars and say, at the end of the night, tell everybody not to leave your cars on Main Street. They won't be there in the morning.
You'll be lucky if I remember my credit card.
They post signs though.
Yeah.
You know, the day before or whatever to let people know.
Signs are hard to read.
Several
though.
days before.
They are. Readings are.
Very tough.
In
They
general,
have to be up at least 72 hours in advance before you can tow a car.
Okay.
So anyway, I get up at 4 in the morning. By the time Budweiser gets there about 6 o'clock, Misguided Spirits will get there around 12.
It's good to know. I didn't know when I was supposed to show up.
No,
4 a.m.
4 a.m.
He doesn't have to get there too early because the bars will be setting up all the bars and stuff like that. The thing starts at 1 o'clock, and by the time we get everybody settled and stuff like this, I don't get to bed the next day until usually around 5:30 in the morning. So I'm up about 26 and a half hours straight. So, and then everybody goes like, well, yeah, but you get to drink on New Year's, whatever. I never drink on New Year's. The one day I definitely don't have anything to drink because if something were to happen.
The one day out of the year he doesn't drink is New Year's.
You caught that, did you? Well, hey, cheers. So, just in case if something were to happen, I don't think it would look good to go like, well, the coordinator is over there wasted. So I never drink on New Year's Eve.
I think you're allowed to have like one beer or a shot at midnight or something, right?
At midnight, we pop a nice bottle of champagne. I have a couple of sips of it, and then it's back to work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's going to be up till 6 o'clock p.m.
Right.
Tell us more about the Seafood Festival. That kind of, I like the sound of that.
This is a New Year's Eve podcast. No, I want to know if the association, like what they do to help out. Like, is it?
Okay,
it's not just you. It's an association. So
No.
are they all?
Darcy, who owns Darcy's clothing store here on Main Street, she's the president of the association now. She took that over about 2 years ago. Yay. I've been trying to slowly retire out of the thing, but nobody will kind of let me. It's kind of like, you do such a good job. So
I'm willing to sign up.
Anyway.
I will definitely not drink though.
I've realized you ask for jobs a lot. Earlier you were like, who's the guy selling the thing in the street? All right, I want to get involved in that. You want to be, yeah.
Well, because I'll pass it off to somebody else.
Oh, right, got it.
After I get a little piece for my niece, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, after we started making money or whatever, we had some money in the bank, we also inherited all the Christmas ornaments that were put up there. The local place had them. They said, we're not going to put them up this year because they're old, they're junky, whatever like that. And I said, you know what? Those things have been going up since I was a kid. And some of them, the snowflakes, are older than me. All right. Imagine that. So
they haven't melted?
We ended up inheriting. We had a little party down in a vacant building, which is now called Boca, the restaurant.
Oh.
And we went in there, we rebulbed them, we sprayed where it was rusty, sprayed white paint on them so they would look decent, whatever. There was 35 of the ornaments that we had. We put them up, basically the 14 to 1500 block. And then with the money that we raised from New Year's or whatever, we bought more and more and more. Now we have somewhere around 150 of the little toppers, wreaths and stuff that go on the top of the poles, all the garland that goes down the poles. And the $20,000 Christmas tree that we've been putting up now for the last 5 years.
Could have bought 4 pineapples for that.
Yeah.
Fucking mathematician.
So
It took me a minute. But.
we basically, that's what we end up doing with the money or whatever, and now we'll figure out other things to do with the money. But it's the Downtown Enrichment Association. We put the money back into downtown to enrich downtown.
So the big event is the New Year's
That's the
pineapple
big-
drop, and that funds your activities decorating downtown for the holidays the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then back to the Seafood Festival. We've been doing it downtown now for about 14 years. It's at J. Hamill Park. We try more and more to
Tell
get,
everybody where that is, because I feel like a lot
J.
of people
Hamill Park?
don't know where that is.
Right across.
It's right across from Marina Jack. So
It's where you see the protesters.
Cool.
Usually.
I hope there's not a seafood festival.
But I feel like
You know what?
It's really ruined the vibe.
More
I just
you
always think that when I
You
see
have
them there, I'm
Highway
like,
41 on one side and Gulfstream on the other, and Main Street. So it's at the corner of Main Street and Gulfstream, right there. That's
Oh, I
J.D.
know where it
Hamill
is,
Park.
but I feel like that's the kind of park where it's a walkthrough, right?
Yeah, it's
People
not a
just
park,
kind of walk
yeah.
by, so they don't remember it's a park until there's
It's
a seafood festival.
Yeah, and it's beautiful with the banyan trees and stuff. They're all there. So we've been putting that on for the last 14 years. So this will be 15 years for us. We have bands starting Friday at 5 o'clock, going till 10 o'clock. On Saturday, we start at 11, and it goes till 11 o'clock, or 11 to 10. And on Sunday, from 11 till 6. And we've got some, Chris Anderson Band will be out there,
Oh,
Yaya
yes, here we
Diamond. Let's see, we have Chaz Collins. On Friday night, he's a great country singer, does country and rock.
There you go.
We got a lot of great bands.
What do you got Saturday night? Who plays Saturday night?
That's Chris Anderson. It's going to be
Chris
Saturday.
Anderson.
He's the headliner. He starts at 8 and goes till 10.
That's my drinking night.
He's making
Okay.
He's like
This
gets one day.
This guy's planning out Seafood Fest drinking in December. He's like,
Quick
all right,
funny
you should
story.
go eat a
Well,
ton of
Jan-
seafood, January
drink a
4th.
ton.
It's on.
When we were first discussing this podcast, creating it, I bumped into Brad at the Seafood Festival. Do you remember that? And I gave him my tickets. I was leaving. I wasn't spending.
Yeah.
Morgan got a bunch of tickets, and then we had some
do
left
remember
over, and I gave some to you and the kids.
I do
Well, I'm
remember
going to make
that.
this easy on you
That was a
this year.
hot seafood festival that year, though.
Yeah, it was
warm.
on. It was
We're going to make it easy. No tickets.
no tickets.
No tickets.
That's
all right?
good.
Just bring your Visa, MasterCard, or cash. All right? And no tickets this year.
I like that. Yeah, toss the tickets.
Well,
Great improvement.
good.
I don't know. It kind of worked out for me. 'Cause I got bonus tickets.
Who supplies the seafood? That's kind of more my interest.
Okay, so
Mother Nature.
we've got some local and some Florida different companies. Bonefish Grill, just talked to them this morning, so they're going to be coming out. They'll be doing some of the stuff there. We've got a couple of chefs out of Bradenton that are coming in, but all in all, it's a combination of but everybody is basically from Florida.
Stone crabs?
We will have matter of fact, we will have stone crabs, lobster rolls.
Just bring your credit card.
little-
The lobster roll I had last year was like 26
Yeah.
bucks.
Yeah.
I mean, listen,
I had a lobster roll too.
that's the
It's
standard
universal.
price-
That's the
it's
standard
standard
price of
pricing,
lobster
but-
roll.
Was it
It goes to a good cause.
Great.
Hey,
That
I was
ponytail.
in Maine 2
not a
years
lobster.
ago.
Yeah.
In Maine 2 years ago, and if you went to a restaurant, a lobster roll was $32.
Oh, yeah.
Now, if you went to a lobster pot, you could get it for like 19.
Yep.
But you have to go off to
I
a
was
lobster
there.
pot.
I was
line.
there. I was there like, what? My son's 4 years ago, and just wore myself out on lobster rolls. I don't know that I can really
Those little
eat them.
Wishnich clams.
Eat so many lobster rolls. I'm like, I'm out of lobster rolls.
Full of butter and bread and seafood.
It's bad.
I like them.
Man.
Good for your digestive system.
So what about? Talk to me about on New Year's Eve for the actual event. It's family friendly, right? Like walk us through. A lot of times I think about the people that are new to Sarasota. That's one of the kind of target audiences for us is we want to be informative for those types of people. So everything we've talked about makes me as a dad say, I don't know, should bring my kids there, right? A lot of liquor and drinking, whatever. But we know it's family friendly. So what does a family event look like for New Year's Eve? Like, what time do you show up? When does it get going?
You bring the kids down 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So
that early, huh?
Pardon?
That early.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So the music starts this year. It's 25 years of dropping a pineapple this year. So
we got to go big.
Yeah. So the music starts at 1 o'clock this year. Normally it started at 9 o'clock. All right, but Mike Tozier will be playing guitar on stage at 1 o'clock. He goes till 3 o'clock. Then at 4 o'clock, we have Benj on one stage, and Dave Marshall, the David Marshall Band on the other. The David Marshall Band is a 7-piece.
I feel like I've seen them before somewhere.
It's they're big. They're out of Tampa.
Okay.
All right. After he's through, at 9 o'clock, Crossfire Creek comes on stage, and the Gas House Gorillas. So we got some great music. So it starts early.
1 to 9.
Pardon?
1 to 9 music, live music the entire
live
time.
music from 1 to 1.
You know why I had you do this?
Why?
Because I'm going to clip this. Eric's going to clip this, and I'm going to send it to my wife. See, this is why we got to go.
That's right.
We got to go.
Well, I'm glad that we're doing this too because I'm learning a lot. The fact that we're sponsoring it, I just know that we're sponsoring. I mean, we're taking care of providing the booze.
Right.
But all of the times and the bands and all that, this is all new information to me. So we're learning a lot today.
Just being on this podcast alone and having all the people we've had, I've learned. I was telling him before, it's like I love the small community that we've built inside of the larger community and learning so much about the city of Sarasota that I never knew before.
Yeah.
And there's actually 2 different events that night. So I'm going to give the other event a little plug too, because it's a great cause and everything else. The fireworks, which are actually at Marina Jack, that's not done by us. All right, that is Marina Jack's does that, and oh geez, you're going to kill me here.
The rum's getting to your head.
That's it. That's it.
It happens quick.
The children that does Thunder by the Bay, Charities for Children.
Yep.
They put that on over there. So with Marina Jack, both of them put it on. But what's funny is the pineapple is done over at the Gator Club right there at Lemon. Mm-hmm. The pineapple comes down, and all of a sudden there's this mass exodus of people running down to Main Street at the 1300 block so they can see the fireworks across the way at Marina Jack. So Suncoast Charity for Children, they're the ones that put that on along with Marina Jack. They do a great job.
So it's probably a good idea to check the pineapple drop out and then go look at the fireworks.
Yeah, and on the way, you can stop at one of those little bars to get yourself a cocktail of Misguided Spirits.
Boom shakalaka.
Yeah.
Love it.
If there were 3 things that you wanted people who are new to the area, who are thinking of coming to this event, to know about what we do there, what we've been doing 25 years, what would they be?
The 3 things that it's not just a bunch of people getting drunk at the end of it. Bring the kids down. It's a family affair. All right, bring them down. Let them get on the carnival. Let the kids have some fun, too. You know what? It's funny to watch this because 1 till about 7, it's a lot of young families that are there. And then from 7 to 9, you see people around my age, anywhere from 40 to my age. That's 68. And they start showing up. And then around 9 o'clock, you see my age kind of starts drifting off, and all the real young kids that are the 22s and the 23s start showing up. So it's kind of neat to sit there and watch it as it transitions through the thing. But
so number 1, family friendly, something for everybody, right?
Safety first. That is very a safe event, and it all goes to a good cause.
And if you need evidence that it's safe, refer to the podcast with Chief Trochet, where we talked about the actual statistics of the amount of arrests. And, it was, I really can't remember, but I think it was 2.
It was really low.
It wasn't
0.
I don't think it was
0.
I don't.
0 sounds.
It was 0.
Aggressive.
See, it's hard to even believe.
Thrown up in a bush or something and got.
It's hard to. I think he said there was a DUI assist or something.
I saw a chick piss in a plant pot last year.
But did she get caught?
She squatted.
This was after the fam. This was at 2 a.m.
And you know what?
But did she get
there's
caught?
bigger
'Cause it
there's
doesn't
bigger
count.
fish to fry than somebody. You know what?
The command
got
center
drunk and
saw it.
couldn't
They're
make
like, "Oh, zoom in on the bush."
Which one?
They got bigger fish to fry than that. So you know what? It's New Year's. They're not gonna get you on peddling stuff. Oh, there's somebody smoking something they're not supposed to be smoking. You know.
They're worried about people.
Is that a promise?
Like in danger or doing
Yes.
something that's gonna harm.
You know, now if you got in your
This
car,
just in.
if you got in your car and you put the keys in it, after you
You're supposed to say
wobble
this
over
is not
there.
legal
Yeah,
advice.
that's no good. That's no good.
So don't want to put words in your mouth, but to summarize, family friendly, all inclusive, right?
Yeah.
Safe.
Safe.
You can piss anywhere you want to.
And
that
it goes to a good cause.
That's
right.
the motto.
It goes to a good cause.
Yeah.
But what about
Supporting the Downtown Merchants Association? Is that the?
Yes.
There you go.
the 25-year thing? Is obviously awesome. Is that the reason why it's moving to 1 o'clock, or is the 1 o'clock thing because it will give families more time to come down and enjoy the event?
Yes and yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's kind of both.
It's both. It's something that we wanted to do last year, was to start a little earlier, and then it was just kind of we thought of that too late.
Got it.
So this year we gave it plenty of time so we could start it earlier, and that was it. You know what? Not everybody wants to stay up till midnight.
Yeah.
All right. So those people can come out at 4 o'clock, listen to some great music, and we do have some great bands playing at 4 o'clock. They can come out at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
What time
Mike,
is it?
Mike Tozier plays bad slide guitar.
Yeah.
And bad being good.
What time was it starting?
Bad
the other
bone.
years?
Pardon?
What time was it starting the other years? Because it starts at 1 now.
Well, usually
music's
music
starting
started
at
at 9 o'clock.
Oh, it didn't start till 9.
We got 8
Yeah.
extra hours.
So now it's starting at 1
a
o'clock.
lot.
Yeah.
Chief's got his hands full.
Yeah.
Overtime for all.
We will have to get him on, maybe like end of January or something, or maybe like end of first quarter to review the statistics of that, because
I wanna see these
I
stats.
love that it's going back and forth, and we had
Public indecency stats.
Ronnie Sugar came up in this
Pineapple Dog
podcast.
2024.
All the restaurants. It's like it really is
List
a
them
small
right here.
community.
The stat.
There
You
you
can
go.
put a chart up here
There
and
you go.
right there.
Yeah.
Very good.
Well, and it's not, New Year's Eve isn't good for everybody. That person who's got a clothing store that we blocked the street off at 4 in the morning, probably isn't going to do a lot of business that day.
We like to keep it positive around here. It's great for everyone. All right. So Tominator Law and I both want to know, what are your thoughts on roundabouts? Do you love them or do you hate them?
Well, the roundabout at 5 Points, when it first came up, I said, this is going to be an absolute disaster. There it is.
Oh, here we go.
All right.
No, that's not 5 points.
That's not 5 points. That's 41.
Yeah, that's the newer one, right? Or no?
No, that's 41, and this is the one right here that goes out to Ringling.
I know this is roundabouts.
Right?
Yeah.
So anyway, the one at downtown seems to work pretty good.
Yep.
Now, the one over there at Ringling and 41, they have quite a few crashes, and they figured it out that they have about 40% more crashes at that roundabout than they have at the one at Fruitville.
Did someone warn this guy about the roundabout
I didn't
question?
say shit,
So-
all right? But he has some roundabout
How did he know all this
stats.
about roundabouts?
I'm impressed.
This is my world, buddy.
We may have a future co-host.
Yeah.
So now here's a fact. I said there, I'm just an optician, all right? I don't do all these other things. But I quickly looked at it and said, you know what? The one over there at Ringling has 5 outlets. The one over there at Fruitville has 3 outlets. That's 40% more outlets, 40% more accidents.
That's your Ringling right there.
Wow.
That's your Ringling right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
So you got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Once you're done hosting, coordinating these events, I think you have a future in roundabout planning.
Yeah.
Which means this is a good opportunity to tell you about one of our big agendas with this podcast, and really the reason we started at this point.
He might have some pull.
We are trying to get a roundabout named after us. We've done 80 episodes.
Oh,
79.
I didn't know.
We've done 79 episodes. Every one of those, we've talked about roundabouts and what the opinion is on them, and helping to educate the community. And we believe that we need a Sarasota SpeaX roundabout like that.
Have you had Dr. Barry on your broadcast?
All right, he's writing it down.
Barry.
Dr. Barry, that's his last name.
Dr. Barry.
Yeah.
Is this the guy that can get them
Yeah.
sponsor a roundabout?
He could tell you more about downtown roundabouts than probably anybody.
Wow, that leads
Do
us
an
into our next question.
an entire roundabout episode.
And it's kind of funny that you did that, because there's actually a thing where I get alerts.
New roundabout alert.
New roundabout alert practically twice or 3 times a day about here's an accident or whatever, and there's actually a camera facing that.
Is that Fighter's camera?
No, but it's on his building. All right, John Moran.
Gotcha.
It's that same
Yep,
building
yep.
there. And John Moran used to be I used to be on the Downtown Improvement District. I
Right.
was the chair of it for 3 years or so. And anyway, John was our statistic person. He basically made sure we all did everything properly and stuff. So, but Dr. Barry could probably tell you an awful lot about roundabouts, and he'd be somebody you'd want.
We got to get him on then.
Do you have a line on the folks from the Public Art Commission? Because I feel like that they're really the gatekeepers for this thing.
Well,
You know what I mean?
they just want to put
You know
the
what I'm
art-
talking about.
Yeah, they just want to put the art on everything.
Yeah, but that's the only way to get a roundabout named after you.
All right,
Someone-
you think
we'd
you
have to
think you know
commission a
so much
sculptor.
about roundabouts? Let's see what you know about this. Why do they put the art there
Why do they put the art there?
in the middle of the roundabout?
It looks pretty.
To make you look at it and get in an accident, so they got statistics.
It actually helps you avoid the accident
Yeah.
because instead of seeing the traffic coming at you and potentially running into you, it kind of blocks your view and helps to prevent the accident.
It's like the blinders on the horses that are racing.
I don't know who told us that, but it's got to be true
Somebody didn't
because
tell us that.
I've
they
never
said it on the
heard
podcast.
that. I
about
guess
that, right?
it does make sense.
Was
though.
it? Was it
Yeah,
maybe?
because you don't want to look at the traffic.
It could have been
On the
cheap.
side, right? Yeah.
Could have been cheap. Could have been chief, or I don't know. But that's why.
I thought they were just trying to dress it up. But yeah,
No.
it's an actual practical
Well,
reason.
it's both. It's both.
Yeah.
But that's what we're working.
Wait, so can you help us get one named after us or not?
So back to
Dr. Barry's
Dr.
the guy.
Barry.
we're getting close to his number.
One episode at a time.
Well, that kind of brings us to the question that we always close on. And Ron, you know, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about your personal business as well. I mean, you've been probably got the longest running optician shop in Sarasota.
It is the oldest optical store in Sarasota.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
It was founded in 1949. I've been there since 1975, so this coming up year will be 50 years for me being at that store running it. It's the second oldest business in downtown Sarasota.
Whoa.
The oldest being the Gator Club.
Whoa.
So,
That's
yeah.
cool.
And they're working together for the pineapple drop.
That's
How about
pretty
that?
cool.
Well, Larry's a good guy.
Great tidbit. Thank you
So,
for that.
I was going to add something else to it, but
If it comes to you, just interrupt me. But we always end on the same question. And also, Chris, thanks for being here again
Yeah, of
with
course.
us.
Thanks for
And
having me.
Thanks for sponsoring this great event to make
Absolutely.
our
Yeah.
25th pineapple drop the
happy to
best
do
yet
it.
here in Sarasota.
Yeah, we're very proud to be a part of it. You know,
Very cool.
Especially growing up here, this is super exciting for us.
It is awesome.
Yeah,
Like
it's very cool.
really
hey, the guys from Misguided, they're all from Sarasota, aren't they?
Yeah, well, James, who is kind of the brainchild of the whole thing, yeah, him and I went to Sarasota High together, but he actually started the company when he moved up to New York, like 5 years ago, and partnered with somebody. But yeah, I mean, essentially,
deep roots.
deep roots is the way to put it. But
It's
so,
like
yeah.
it's like Trey almost.
Yeah.
You know,
And-
almost born here, but
yeah,
But you know, the whole brand,
3 years old.
the whole brand kind of does have a Sarasota ethos.
By the way,
ethos
who
to
was
it.
born here?
It does.
Seriously.
Yeah, just go ahead. raise your hand.
I'm kidding.
Sarasota native.
I'm going to go with that.
And Ron, I think you'll appreciate this because you've lived here forever, right?
Yes.
Were you
You know,
born here?
born here, as Brad likes to point out.
He was born here,
right?
basically. Yeah.
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 We have such a big service industry that I think that background that you and your founder had informed kind of the ethos of Misguided, which is producing a spirit that's proud, that bartenders and service people are proud to pour,
Right, exactly.
but can also be used on the
Yeah.
on the rail.
You
right?
can use it on the rail and be proud of it, and you can put it on your cocktail list and be proud of it, and know that your restaurant bar is going to be supported by the company that you're using to make your drinks.
And it's got a cool name.
And it's got a cool name.
Turn that thing around real quick, Trey.
Some cool art.
God knows, I've been misguided a few times.
Yeah. we all have.
It says, for those that enjoy a good drink and questionable decisions,
Yeah.
proudly poured in the best bars. So if
Locally
you
owned,
don't
locally
hold
operated.
this in your bar, I don't know.
Then what are you doing?
I don't
Get
know.
on board, guys. Come on.
But yeah, when you told me that story, I thought of, wow, we've got such a great service industry group of folks here, and that's a
Yeah.
big part of what we do in Sarasota, so it made sense.
And it's cool too, because like I said, a handful of places that still aren't carrying us quite yet, but I've been talking to. Working with Ron and doing the pineapple drop kind of was like a bit of a key to get those meetings and talk to these people. And maybe they've seen the logo. Maybe
Maybe saw you on Sarasota SpeaX.
Right, exactly.
Never
And
know.
then they're like, oh, you're going to be, Ron, you're going to be doing the pineapple drop and the Rocktoberfest, Seafood Fest. And then suddenly it kind of like disarms them a little bit. And they're like, okay, maybe we want to get involved with you, and now it's happening.
Yeah.
So it's just like that next step. So he's been a great help in that, and all the downtown restaurants and bars have been huge supporters too.
Really cool.
What?
It's next year when we have that pineapple up there.
Yeah.
And it's this brand new glittery pineapple and stuff, and on the bottom of it lit up, and it says Sarasota SpeaX on there.
Yeah, let's go.
So maybe you don't want to.
I think you got a better chance of saying strong roofing.
Well, maybe strong roofing.
I think Sarasota SpeaX is it.
Maybe you guys get a roundabout. Could be your Sarasota SpeaX roundabout, and then maybe strong roofing does the pineapple.
No.
Okay.
Sarasota SpeaX does both.
Okay, gotcha. Nothing for Trey. We're strong.
I'm part of SpeaX.
So as I was saying,
there's strategy there. Don't worry.
we always
talk
end,
about it later.
we always end on the same question. Ron, you've been on Sarasota SpeaX. You see what we do here. Thanks for coming. We enjoyed having you. We hope you enjoyed it as well.
It's been fun.
Great. Now, who do you know, who we may not know, who Sarasota needs to know? Who should we invite on Sarasota SpeaX that you can recommend?
Oh, man.
Dr. Barry doesn't count.
Now you're gonna give us two.
But
I was going to say,
that was when you already you knew what was coming. You already beat us to the punch. But now that you gave us Dr. Barry early, we got to get a second.
Okay.
And you know a ton of people.
Have you had Paul Madison on board?
No, and that hasn't even come up.
Of Madison's Chef Paul?
Yeah.
I haven't. No, we haven't thought of that yet.
Okay, so
cool.
Paul Madison does a pretty neat job. He's one of the well-known chefs here in Sarasota. He's got several restaurants. He'd be kind of cool to have on and
I agree.
Talk to him about.
I got some things I'd love to talk to him about too, because that's one of my favorite spots.
Madison's was one of the earliest adopters of Misguided.
No
too.
way.
Yep. Even before I was on the first podcast, we're just getting started in February of this year, very beginning of the year, and I think they were probably maybe the 4th or 5th place downtown. We're just like, this looks awesome, we love it, and took us on. And then I've talked to Paul and a couple of the people that he works with since, and they've been great.
Paul Madison coming right up.
I've never met him, but I'd also love to talk to him about the noise ordinance and how it seems like they seem to do very well, and others complain about the ordinance. So Madison,
the people that are complaining are going to Madison's.
Noise ordinance
I don't know.
Anymore? It's supposed to be 10 p.m. Who is listening to that anymore? I don't know.
I don't know, but the people complaining are the ones at Madison's.
Here's the problem. Downtown is a business district. It's always been a business district.
Yeah.
All right. Now we've got these condos coming up all over the place, and you know what? Thank God for the condos. They're good for downtown Sarasota.
That's good, but where you're choosing to live.
But yes, the mark used to say on it. Their logo was downtown is just downstairs. All right, so with that in mind, you're buying downtown or whatever. Just because you got in doesn't mean at 9 o'clock it's a quiet place. No. It's downtown. It's a business district, and these places like the Gator Club's been there for 100 years.
Right. We like the boogie,
Yeah.
You know what? There's other places like the Oaks and...
we need to talk to Perry.
That's very quiet with $1 million places.
Is Perry giving out disclaimers when he sells these
A buddy of
joints?
mine who's a contractor pointed out something I never thought of before on this topic. He was like, nobody in New York City complains about noise from the street. And he said there's a critical difference, the construction techniques they use. So
what, thicker windows and
something? I don't know. I'm not an engineer, but
double
it makes sense to me. Like, I've been in an apartment in New York and I don't hear a damn thing.
They call hurricane windows.
Maybe the conversation needs to be expanded.
I have a feeling everything's going to have that soon.
Let's not just put it all on the bars,
Yeah. Well, listen, this was informative, fun, informative thanks to you, fun thanks to you. It's been a blast, and we really appreciate having you on and everything you're doing for the Pineapple Drop and the other events. So let's wrap it up there.
Cool. Thanks. Cheers. Appreciate it.
Cheers. Thanks, guys. Cheers.
That was great.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.